Hi everyone, welcome. I needed to make a fifth zombie cat in Neon Nightmare, in the Neon Nightmare colorway, which you can see if that's the wrong glove, which you can see if you check the thumbnail. That's the one with all the neon colors, obviously. And it's the name is written on there. But I need to make another one. And also, I want to start a blanket as a gift for a friend, which I will not mention here because sometimes that person might be aware of my live streams. But I'm making a blanket for a friend as a thank you. And it might take a while. It might take me a few months, but I don't know. Right now I'm looking at the options for it. Whoa, woo! My links are not. Oh, they're there. Okay, I think they were not working. But if you want to check out my Etsy shop, I have a lot of plushies, I have a lot of shawls, a lot of other items. I have friendship bracelets, which are discounted right now if you want to check that out. And right now, I'm struggling with bills. I have a very big bill, and I have another debt that I have to pay, which is quite high. So I'm a few $100 out of money for those. And if you want to help out, that would be really appreciated. Even if you want to just like give a little, so I can get some groceries, that'd be really appreciated as well. But that all takes place on my Ko-fi. I have a fundraiser to help with bills and necessities and whatnot. All the funds given through there serve for that purpose. So if you give through that, it's gonna go there. And like if I buy yarn or anything, that is taken from my sales, like what I sell as a crocheter. Hi, welcome. Sorry, my nose is misbehaving again. But yeah, if I buy yarn or anything for my business, that is taken directly from the sales I make and all of that. But all of your donations are used for necessities. So that's, yeah. I'm sorry for having to blow my nose on camera. It's really irritating for me as well, I can promise you that. And if you're wondering why I'm not wearing a skinny puppy shirt, again, it's because I did some laundry yesterday, but it's not dry yet because it's quite humid in here. So I gotta have to wait a little bit longer. But all my shirts are drying, and they're all in my on my little rack. They're they're okay now. They're still a little bit damp, but I don't want to take the chance. So yeah, today I will make more kitties. And goodness, did you watch Tony's video? Like TL Yarncraft, that's who I'm talking about. But she went through all her whips, saying if she would like stop for a while or frog them or give them a new life, destash or whatever, or continue them. And goodness, I feel guilty, and now I want to attack my whips as well. Because I keep saying I'll do that, but then I don't. Now I just have so many whips that I cannot count. But if I finish this fifth neon cat body, then I will be able to move on to the ears and such. And now I'm confident that I can get at least a few of them finished before the due date, like the date I have to send them. But yeah, some of them are due a little bit later. Some of them are due like in 3 days. But yeah, technically I would have enough time, but I just don't know since I'm a little bit disabled. But I think I should be okay. I think I should be okay. Because yesterday I finished one, but I thought I would start this one, but I didn't. So today we're gonna try to do as much as possible. But yeah, if you wanna help out with my bills and whatnot, that'd be really appreciated. Yesterday I had free pizza in my Domino's account, but then I got reimbursed because when you don't have a phone number, they don't deliver you the pizza, which I think is stupid because I confirmed like 20 times through the website that this was really my order and this is what I was ordering. Like they have you confirm like tons of times. They have you confirm everything. And like they say it's for safety, but every freaking restaurant ever just delivers to you without calling you. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go through skip the next time. And that means I don't get free pizza because I don't have the coupon or whatever, like the points through my Domino's account. But they didn't refund me the points. They only refunded me the money from the order because I ordered something else than pizza, obviously. But yeah, no free pizza, which is sad. But I'll live, because free pizza is oh my goodness, free pizza. But yeah, that means I'm just not gonna order from them again. Even if I get a phone number again, I'll just be like, I'll still be mad about this, to be honest with you. I'm a little bit petty when it comes to that. I thought I was gonna eat an excellent meal, and instead I ate rice because that's what I had. And I was like, I was sitting downstairs, a little bit lightheaded and uh, with um, with nausea, sort of, because my ears were kind of bursting, really. So that was not a good time for me. So I'm still petty about that. And if I ever get a phone number again, I won't be ordering from Domino's. Well, their pizza is good, but it's not like the best anyway. I have a pizza place close to my house anyway that does excellent pizza, and I don't even have to order it. I can just go and like order it from the counter if I want, and so that's cheaper. But I still tip them obviously because service workers deserve a tip. But what I do is I I put my tip in their tip jar. So if I get coins a way or another, like if I get coins, if I have some cans or bottles that went into the machine and I got some coins, because here you have consigned things and like you get money when you recycle your soda cans and whatnot, your water bottles, you get money for that. So if I have coins that way, that's what I used to tip if I'm in a place where there's a tip jar. That's just like what I do is I will just drop my whole purse in there, not even calculating the amount. Unless I have like $20, then I'm probably not gonna tip like the same amount that I paid. But you know what I mean. If I have like $5 and the tip was gonna be $3, well, I'm just gonna give the $5. But but I always like tipping service workers. It's important to me, and I hope it's important to you too, guys, because um we're not gonna beat the system by not tipping, hoping that magically they will pay their workers a fair wage. That's not what's gonna happen. Sadly, the system is just gonna exploit them even more, thinking, "Hey, you make money from tips. Why are we paying you this much?" And then, oh, magically, there's no tip anymore. That must mean you're not doing a good job. That's what they're gonna think. They're not gonna pay them fairly because they don't get tipped. So we're not helping. We're being complacent to this system. That's what we're doing. Just give me a second. It's really cold in here. I need to adjust the temperature. Oh, my room is gonna be hotter. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm a good tipper usually, and I don't like people who say like, "Oh, but you aren't owed anything," blah blah blah. Well, yeah. Even if someone gives you a bad service, like the thing is, human beings they have bad days sometimes, and sometimes even if you're at work, you're not always able to contain yourself. Sometimes you blow up, and that's a mistake. Like you don't do it out of malice for anyone, but I understand it's important to be professional, blah, 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 blah. They're not paid enough for that, guys. They're not paid enough to act professional. Like, people expect them to be perfect and all. If you treat them badly, they will respond to that. They don't feel respected. They're human beings. They have the right to replicate just because they're not to replicate, to respond. Replicate would have been in French. Well, you say réplique. It is the word for like answer in a little bit intense way, maybe. But that's just the way it is. If you treat the service worker poorly and you expect them to reply to you nicely because it's their job, like at the rate they're paid, I wouldn't hold it against them to tell you to f off. Like, you know, you have to take that into account. They're not paid enough to to do everything in their power to make your life perfect. Like, they're waiters and service people. They're not your servants. They're not your personal servants. Do you know what I mean by that? What I mean is there's a line. They're paid to bring you your food and help if there's a problem, but they're not paid to run to the counter every time because your coffee is 1 degree colder than you asked for it to be. You know, because yeah, you ordered something and you want to get that, and you want to get it how you asked, and I understand, but also like be reasonable in general. And I don't like the term Karen, and I don't use the term Karen because I think it's pretty unfair to go and take a whole name and make a stereotype out of that. And I don't like the fact that anytime someone disagrees with anything online, they get called a Karen. Like, that's pretty rude. People in general should just be okay with being disagreed with without getting all upset over it. Being a Karen was supposed to be a specific thing where you go into service places and you ask for a manager when someone just like gave you water instead of distilled water and you get super angry over it and you want to talk to the manager. That was supposed to be that. It wasn't supposed to be like um about anyone disagreeing with anything you say ever. Like, that's not being a Karen. That's not what it is. So it's like the ladies who the stereotypical ladies who will run after you because you walked on one strand of their lawn by accident because it was too close to the sidewalk. You know, that type. And I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but I think it's silly. Oh, I apologize. I think my sound was a little bit low. There, it should be better now. Now I put it to 100%. So if it's too loud for you, you can, you can turn it down a little bit, but then it will just be better in general. I think my microphone sound is okay. Let me know if it's not. I can try to adjust that. It's stupid because when my camera is open, I can't open my camera settings. I have to have a closed camera to do that. And I think that's weird. I understand why it's like that because the camera app on the computer won't turn on when it's already used by another um, system or another thing. But also, I would like to play with my settings. You know, this is kind of weird thing for me. I won't die from it, but I will complain. And now we're making another kitty, and it's gonna be so cute. I love it so far. I just have the butt done. This is the bottom of the cat. It's just gonna be green, going to yellow, and then orange, red, pink, purple, black, and then purple again, and it's gonna stop towards the purple, I think. By the way, I apologize for the little bell. Some people have told me they're not bothered by it, but let me know if you are. It's because I don't have another stitch marker that is the right size right now, but I might try to find one if it's really annoying to you. 'Cause I have other stitch markers somewhere. I just have to find them. Most of them are on projects right now, so that's why. Oh, people are mad at me. Ah! I'm sorry, I'm just like looking at my notifications. I'm just gonna close it. The people messaging me all the time. I'm a busy human. There was a conversation about autism and disabilities on Threads, and I took part of it in it. And some people are mad at my response because I talked about the same thing I talked live. That just having a different brain, having a brain that works differently, is not a disability in itself, but autism is a disability, and it has tons of like co-occurring conditions that are indissociable from it, and there are symptoms and things that are disabling, and like we should take that into account and not tell people how they identify is wrong because it's not. We should just like listen to how people prefer to be referred as instead of pushing our own ideas of it on them. 'Cause it's even more insulting to tell a disabled person, nah, you're not disabled. It's just that you need a little bit of this. But in the end, you don't understand what it's like to not be able to do something everyone else is. And like people just to you, look down at you for not being able to do those things. So just they think of you as a person that is less than, even if they're trying not to, even if it's just like, hey, I'm an able person and you're a disabled person, therefore you're in the disabled camp. Like people just treat you differently for it, and sometimes it is necessary to treat a person differently. Like for example, if someone can't walk as fast as you will adapt your speed, and that's treating them differently than if you were with a general walking speed friend, you know. And that's just like a very poor way to explain it because there are tons of disabilities that have different effects and whatnot, but it's just this is just me giving a general idea. I just think that half of you have no idea what it feels like. I do because I'm disabled, but Just imagine you're struggling every day of your life to manage to do something others will do, clicking their fingers, and poof, it happens. But y- for you, for example, it takes you a week to, because this is something that happens to me. Okay, if I have to make a phone call, I have to hype myself up, I have to prepare myself, and it can take me up to a week to do it, to actually go through. But you just take the phone, you think, okay, I'm gonna say this and this and that, and you might like prepare a little bit and say a few a sentence and practice a few replies in your head, and then poof, you do the phone call. But I have to go through the panic, through shaking so much that I can't I can't type the number in, and then I have to deal with all the things, and then and then it takes me a few more days, and then I have to try again the next day and the next day. But that's a disability, because I can't just pick up my phone and actually do it. Like, it doesn't happen for me. I panic and I stop, and I can't help myself from doing that. Like, no matter how much I work on my anxiety, it's still a reality that I have to deal with. It will never take me less time to make a phone call. Like, sometimes if I'm just like calling someone I know or something, it's fine. But if it's something important, like something for the government, the bank, or whatever, it takes me a long time, and I panic if the phone rings and I have to answer because I'm not prepared for that. You understand? I hope you understand what I mean. I'm not trying to be mean, but just trying to explain a reality that I've been going through all my life, and how you can't tell a person they're not disabled, or they just have to push themselves. And also, the thing that I don't like, that I especially dislike, is, oh my god, you're such an inspiration. You do all these things and you're disabled. Well, yeah, we're human beings. We're not gonna stop ourselves from living just because we're disabled. So we're not more brave because it takes us a little bit more energy to do something. We're not such a big inspiration. We're just living our lives. Um, that's something that bugs me a lot personally. I know people don't mean harm saying that, but it causes harm. Um, for example, me making phone calls. Well, it's a struggle, but like in life, sometimes you have to use the phone. And I'm not an inspiration for coming on YouTube and talking to you just because I have speech impediment, and I have pronunciation issues, tone issues, and all of that. Like, just because I struggle with speech doesn't mean that I'm more brave than a person who doesn't just come on YouTube, because I should be of equal value, right? It shouldn't be harder for you to have to witness me, a disabled person, speaking. You might struggle a little bit more hearing the words I say, and like, that's okay, but that doesn't make it um like charity for you to listen to a disabled person. Like, that's not charity. It's just you and me were being human beings and interacting. You know what I mean? I hope that this is making sense. Because I'm a little bit tired of this narrative where you're doing charity work because you're friends with me. And a lot of people think that way. They think they're doing me a favor by including me. And that's like, that sucks. If you think you're doing me a favor by including me, remove me, block me, unsubscribe. I don't want people who think they're doing me a favor. I want friends who genuinely care about my well being. And I have some of them. I have lovely friends on here. I have friends who just, they genuinely care about me as a person. Not, they're not friends with me because I'm disabled. They're not trying to include me, Like in school, you're told, "Oh, you have to include your little disabled friends because nobody's gonna talk to them, blah blah blah. You have to force yourself." We're told that. I was told that when I was in school. In elementary school, especially, And in the bus, I was told you have to sit next to this disabled person, even if you don't get along, because you have to be nice to your little friend. But like me and that girl hated each other. We sat together because we were told to, because, you know, this is something people don't get. Like, we're just people. And no, it didn't make me glad that they made me sit next to her. Like I said, we hated each other. We made each other miserable because I'm autistic, right? I wasn't diagnosed at the time, but I'm autistic. And for example, if a person is next to me and pokes me every 5 seconds, hey, look at this, hey, look at that, hey, I did this today, hey, I did that today. Well, it's gonna annoy the F out of me because I'm getting overly stimulated by it. It's no fault of hers, but I got overly stimulated and I was overwhelmed and I was gonna have a meltdown. I had meltdowns a lot. I would scream at her sometimes. But like you don't put someone like that next to an autistic person, and but also she's disabled, so her specific disabilities made it so she didn't realize what she was doing. And when she was told, she wouldn't change that because she didn't understand that she had to stop. And sometimes you still have to be firm with people, like you have to tell them, hey, sorry, those are my limits. But I was a kid. I was an autistic kid. No one ever taught me that I was allowed to say no and to tell her off and to tell her to respect my space. Nobody ever told me that. I was told just be nice to her and don't tell her anything like that because she's gonna be sad, you know. But no, I should have told her that. But yeah, sometimes they can understand, like, hey, don't poke me like this. I don't appreciate this. But like she would do it again, and from one time sitting next to me and the other, like from one day to another, she would forget, so I would have to repeat. But that's what I mean. Sometimes I just blew up. I was never taught to just put my limits and say, hey, don't book me like this, I don't like this. I would just scream and I was just it would just build up and I would just scream. um but like I said, I was a kid, and well, she was a little bit older than me. I think she was like 16 or something like that, and I was maybe a 10 to 12, something like that. I can't tell you the exact age I was because I don't remember, but I can tell you that we hated each other, and she was not excited about sitting next to me because I would yell, and I was not excited about sitting next to her because I was overly stimulated, you know. And like I said, I don't like hold a grudge or anything. It's just that the adults should have known better than to force us to sit together. Um, but that's just a small accommodation that you can make when you're a teacher or a bus driver or something. Is if two kids don't work well together, you can just make them sit elsewhere. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna affect their professional life. It's not gonna turn them into little picky people. They're just like you're just gonna make it easier for everyone and just like teach them to put their limits. And if someone doesn't respect the limits, well, they're out. So since this is Autism Appreciation Month, I'm gonna talk about this subject a lot. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, when I was in elementary school, the special education class kids, they would bully me. Like, they would treat me badly. They were nasty to me. They were not nice at all. And because I was different, but I was not different in their flavor. And I wasn't protected because I was in a normal class. And they would lash out at me because I was the weird kid. I was not a disabled kid for them. I was just the weird kid that everyone hated. So they hated me too. But yeah, the specialized classes hated me. Um, so I didn't have friends in elementary school. I was just bullied by everyone. And same in high school, it was a little different because they were a little bit older, obviously, and some of them were even very close to 18. Um, but a lot of disabled kids hated me too, but they would tolerate me. They wouldn't bully me as much in high school. But like I said, I was the weird kid that was somehow not disabled, so they felt like it was kind of unfair that I got to be this way and that I wasn't one of them, sort of. Like, I didn't have the protection of, hey, don't bully that disabled kid. Like, nobody would tell kids off for treating me poorly. Nobody was checking up on that because I was just a kid. I could defend myself supposedly. So it was tough for me. This is one of the things about growing up undiagnosed autistic is like the system fails you in so many ways, and you're just not protected by your peers, by society, by anything, unless like one person tries to bully you and it falls into another bully's territory, then they'll defend you because, hey, this is my prey. Don't you dare bully my victim. And that's a true story. There's a guy who threatened violence on another guy because I was his to bully. I'm not even joking. And it's good that he protected me though, because that guy was actually physically hitting me. So it was like, yeah, no, I bullied that kid, but I draw the line at that. I'm not hitting them. So that, thank you for that guy for saying that. But still, you were an asshole and you bullied me, so you're not better. But yeah, it's a tough space to grow up in, where you kind of don't fit in anywhere and you're weird for everyone. Like, nobody wants you in their camp. And I tried hard. I never fit in anywhere. Even the people who like tolerate me to be their friends, they always thought I was kind of odd and decide to discard me from time to time. And yeah, we don't want you now. We thought about it, and we don't really want you around. You're too much of uh you know that thing where you're not like not wanted, but you're too much of an inconvenience. We don't want you around anymore. It was like that growing up my whole life. If people can just decide, yeah, well, it's a little bit weird when you laugh that way, so yeah, bye, you're not normal. Or you were never taught to respond to X social situation in a good way. Like, we all understand when the teacher says this, but you don't. Therefore, we don't want you. You're too weird. It's been like that, and it's like that for a lot of autistic kids who were not diagnosed. Um, but I developed severe trauma from that, and it's not something that happens overnight. Like, it's something that keeps developing. developing. Anyway, it grows, and it just means that you get CPTSD instead of straight up PTSD, but it's still a violent form of disability. Like post traumatic stress is very debilitating. People, it's hard. Like my downstairs neighbors, they're moving stuff out of their apartment right now, and they're cleaning up and doing things, and they slam the door every time. And I saw them yesterday do it because I was waiting downstairs for my free pizza that never came. But I saw them do it. They actually uh, they fly open the door, and they give it a very strong swing back so it makes as much noise as possible. They do this on purpose every time, and I physically saw it. Before I thought, okay, maybe they're not careful, but no, I saw it. They swing the door, and they do this on purpose. Like, I've heard them laugh and say kind of things about damaging the building on purpose, which I'm not gonna tell on them for. That's not what I'm here for. But yeah, they do that. Like they swing the door so strong that every time, it sends me into a panic. Like I jump, and it activates my nervous system every time they do it. And they don't know that I have CPTSD, but I thought they'd care. But every time I'm in overly activated, scared mode, and it affects my work. So yes, it is. It's a disability, and even if I go through therapy and all that, it takes a lot of time to undo those, you know. And there's a very long waiting list. I do sometimes I do self EMDR, but it's hard to do that. Like I can't focus as well. Like EMDR is guided usually, but doing it myself, I struggle a little bit. There are some guided ones on YouTube, but it's not the same to do it with a safe person who's your therapist in the room to guide you if you ever panic or break down crying. You know that there's a person in the room to help you manage yourself, but I don't have that, so it's a little bit scary and it's tougher. I know to stop when I can't take it anymore. I know myself well enough for that, but it's still like it's not an easy little thing that I can just do. I have to be super careful with that. And I enjoy doing it, but it's hi, Zach. How are you doing? I'm sorry I didn't see your comment earlier. I'm on the pattern page. So if you're already gone, I'm sorry, but I'm still here. Um I'm still up to talk to people. Um, just wait a second. I'll just go open the door because now it's too hot. I'll be right back. My room isn't that far. So yeah, winter is struggling. Let's sit my butt down. Hope you're doing well, Zach. I've not seen you in a while. I've seen you over on Dawn's channel, I think. Stop asking me to vote. I voted yesterday. Sorry, my bank is inviting me to vote for the assembly, but I already did. But they keep emailing me, and I'm just like, I can't. I already voted. Mm. Someone just told me something that I really can't agree with. Like I was like I said, I was part of a conversation on threads, over on threads, about autism as a disability, and someone was yelling at someone else about, no, it's not a disability. But the thing is, if you're autistic and you don't feel like it's a disability, well, for you that is a privilege, because it sure as heck is disabling for me. And now I made a similar post on Facebook, just like to talk more about this issue. Like, someone is telling me that I'm dumb for identifying that way, and I'm just like told me nasty things, and I'm just like, I'm sorry you're experiencing things, but just because you're disabled doesn't mean I'm not. I'm sorry, that upsets me when people go around saying things like that. Like, just because you experience certain things that I don't doesn't mean my disability is invalid. I'm sure as hell disabled, honey. I have carpal tunnel, and I most probably have RA. If my doctor would have just ordered the tests, I would know by then. But she was like, nah, and not too worried about that. But I have all the symptoms. I've had the symptoms since I was 18. um my fingers would swell up randomly, like I was just walking on a hot summer day, and my fingers would just swell up. I thought I could have a very severe allergy. Did a bug sting me or something? But no, it was just my fingers were just swelling up randomly like that, and that's a symptom of RA, and I have a few others as well. Well, carpal tunnel is a symptom of RA, a pretty bad one at that. But like I said, my carpal tunnel is also due to dysgraphia, because I need to grip things more firmly than most people. Otherwise, I struggle handling them. And it's also affecting my vision because I have to hold things very close, and it's affecting my focus and my eye, you know? Because I could just like do it that way like people do, but I don't have good motor control at that distance. It's too far from my core, like my core, my body, But yeah, and if you think like CPTSD is not a disability, honey, sometimes I can't go out because I'm too panicked. Anxiety, I have social anxiety, but I'm pretty sure I have generalized anxiety. But my doctor was dismissing me and saying, nah, I think it's more social on your case, hun. You're just a worry bug that worries people won't like you. No, I sit at home worrying that a bomb's gonna go off. Like, I'm very scared. And I know just because I said that word, then it triggered like the little filters, and now the government, the American government is like, nah, I know, but remember Edward Snowden's words. They are looking at all of you. they're they, they're looking at all of us. So you know sometimes I feel like Edward's just mocking us when we say like, nah, it's okay, like our privacy isn't threatened, but he's just like looking at us. What, am I a joke to you? Because goodness, there's no privacy online anymore. All your data is being sold to thousands of websites every day. Just so you know. But I just wanted to say like, yes, I most definitely have generalized anxiety. It's just my doctor didn't think it fitted the narrative she had for me. But guys, I'm just because I can walk doesn't mean I can always do it, first of all, and it doesn't mean I'm not impaired or I'm able. Okay, I hate when people who are slash more disabled than you slash or quotation marks go and say, huh, you don't have a reason to complain. No, instead, we should just be nice to each other and stop telling each other that what you experience is not real. And I would invite us to think before we tell people something like that, because that's really hurtful. Um, like, I have periods that I cry the whole day because I can't do something that others can easily, like go out, things like that. Like last year was the first concert I had seen in 4 years. The last time I've been to a concert before that was in 2019. And I was shaking the whole week before. I was shaking and crying, thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I'm not gonna be able to go. And last time I was at an airport, I cried. I cried the whole freaking day because I was lost. I was so lost and so scared that I just cried. So tell me again that I'm not disabled. I'm gonna get angry at you. Like seriously. I don't have an aide. I don't have a worker with me. I can't get one because my doctors don't believe I need that apparently. But a person who cries in an airport because they're lost and they can't find their way because they don't understand that even if you don't have baggage, you have to go through baggage claim. I didn't know that, so that's why I got lost. But that's a thing that most people would have just gathered that and they would have gone through, oh, I have to go through there. Okay. But I didn't. I just kept getting lost and cried and cried and cried. Like I would just not stop crying to think rationally that hey, that's the way to go. Even if I don't have to take um, a bag physically, I would still have to go the same way, right? So like, I'm sorry, but if you don't have the empathy to show to a person, just like shut up about their condition. You don't have a word to say about to them about their condition. Um, you shouldn't say those things. That someone just told me, if you were stuck in bed like me, how would you feel? Well, my dear, if you were incapable of talking to human beings like me, unable to use the phone, unable to go through security without crying, without shaking, um, unable to use your hands for days at a time sometimes, without dropping things, hurting yourself, unable to use knives, how would you feel? It's the same thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit itchy right now, so I'm gonna stop. I don't want to go through that again, but I'm sorry, but I'm just tired of all the ableism for real. It's annoying. I have tons of disabled people in my life. I have tons of disabled friends, and some that are like, I have very varied, very varied. That's very poetic, isn't it? A group of friends. I have friends who have hearing disabilities, communication disabilities, movement disabilities, um, all sorts of things, and conditions like RA. My dad has RA. It's pretty advanced at his age. He's going through very intensive treatment. He has chemo meds, and that's what they give to people who have that. I have people who get tons of problems. I have friends over here on YouTube who are, and I would never, like, for the life of me, think of telling them their disability is not that bad, because like, I see them struggling and I see them hurting, and it, like, I want to support them and I want to be on their side. Like, I don't want to tell them, huh, imagine if, like, we need to be kinder to each other, people. I don't like where this all is going. Life in general, just like the whole planet, I don't like where we're going as a human species, that we feel the need to tell people that their disability is invalid. Like, what the heck? You don't know what a person is going through, and you like to claim that you know everything, but you don't know how distressing it is. Like, I can't count change, and that sounds stupid to you, because that's just counting change. It's nothing. But imagine how it's like when you go into a store, um, you can't pay debit because you don't have that in your account, but you have the coins, and you have to count coins, and the person in front of you is like, hurry up, there's people behind, and then the people behind are tapping their foot, but you're autistic and you're getting overstimulated by the noise of the foot tapping, and then people are sighing, and it's adding to the pressure, the social pressure, and you're just like, it's building up inside you, and you're just getting more scared, and you're just freezing because you can't like do that anymore. You're just frozen, and you can't count your change at all anymore, so you just leave your items and you leave the store. I do this on a regular basis, by the way. I just up and leave because people are just looking at me, and I can't do it when people, it's just like you're in the bathroom doing your business and someone would be staring at you. That's how I feel when I count change. I know it sounds stupid, but that's the closest way I can describe it. And now I know this person watches my channel, so I don't want to argue anymore, but I just wanted to be honest about how I feel about this. Um, because it makes me sad. It seems I misunderstood what that person said. They were saying they were trying to be supportive. See, that's one of the problems with autism. Like what that person was saying sounded way ableist to me, but it was the opposite. Oh, so I'm sorry about what I said, but it still stands. We should still not like we should still not like give each other a hard time, because I know people who really are like that and they think like that. Like I've had people actually one of the people who bullied me in elementary school was a blind girl, and she would use that as like a way of being mean to people. She'd be like, I'm blind, therefore you have to give me everything I want. And I'm just like, whoa there, princess, whatever. Like adults actually supported that, and they were like, "Oh, but she's blind, it's not her fault." Yeah, it's not her fault she's mean because she's blind. Well, being blind has nothing to do with bullying people. So maybe I just misunderstood what that person was saying, so I do apologize for that. Sometimes I jump a little bit too much to conclusions. Oh, sorry. Another one of my friends is talking to me about AI and its effect on the art world. So I'm kind of geeking out here because I'm an art geek. And another one of my friends is talking to me about booing Logan Paul because they're watching a fight right now. And I think his fight is tomorrow, from what he said. But I said, hey, boo him for me. But see, that's one of the things. Like, I always struggle to comprehend where people come from with their things, because I have a lot of BS and things in my own world, things I have to deal with, and sometimes you don't necessarily think from another person perspective who is actually trying to say something nice, but then you kind of build it up in your mind. So not that it should be justified, but I'm just like trying to explain where I'm coming from. And by the way, we have a little body now, so we need to stuff that before continuing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, okay. I need to stuff this now. Hey, oh boy. By the way, did I just say by the way again before even remembering what I was gonna say? Yes. So we'll talk about something else instead. I have a grocery store close to me that closed their doors near me, nearby anyway. Close. They're closed. They're changing their name, but they're the same like company, but just with a different name. They're switching to Provigo to Maxi. Maxi has the big blue and yellow and white sign, and it just says Maxi and Company. That's what it says. And the prices are way better, even if it's like the same brand, just slightly different. So I'm excited for that. They open at the end of the month, so I'm gonna go see. Probably not opening day though, because as an autistic person, you avoid those. But I want to see if they have good prices. I'm probably gonna have to shop a little bit because they have some of the foods that I love, and they have the no name brand. You know, the original yellow no name brand. I love no name. By the way, hello. Say hi. Lurkers. We have lurkers. I wonder if it's not my friend from Facebook or if it's anyone else who lurks often around here. I know Jerry and Don lurk. I know that Spoon does sometimes. I know that who else? I've seen a few of my lurkers over the my time on YouTube. So manifest yourself. Yes, I am staring at you deeply. That shirt is so low cut, and the reason for that is this is like a 3X, but I cut it too loose, a little bit too loose, the collar. So now it's doing that, and it's annoying as heck. I might have to change change shirts. Okay, we're gonna change shirts. Which one is this? Is this the patch mode? No, this is Joy Division. Which one is this one? That's the patch mode. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wear the patch mode. I'm gonna be right back. No, I think I actually am gonna wear Joy Division because it's a little bit bigger, and I don't feel like wearing something really tight. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm gonna be back again. I'm just going to a bathroom break. It will be quick. I'm sorry. I'm so- ah. Oh, here I am again. Oh, yesterday I bought a huge pouch of rice. I just dropped all my paintbrushes. Just a little adaptation time because they were in a different spot previously, so I have to readjust to them being on this cart thing. Um, but yeah, here I am again, loves. Oh, my back. Ugh, I have back problems because I have big front. I have a big front. I know that sounds silly, but it's like the biggest impairment in and an AFAB's life is having those big things. Loves, I love you. By the way, oh, thank you for the lake. And I said, by the way, again, and I just misremembered again what I was gonna say. Being neurodivergent, you guys, sometimes it's a fun ride. And then you remember what you were gonna say, and it's like all new to you. Okay, and I think that's firm enough. Hoping so. Okay, I'll take a little finger break before I go on. I'm gonna make plans for the rest of the day because I don't think I will be doing that all day. Although I think I wanted to start the ears, but realistically, I might have to take breaks and everything. So, hydration reminder, people. Again, one more sip. That feels good. Yeah. Hi. But now we move on to the head, which starts with a bunch of increases. Hey. Oh, okay. Is that like I was saying? Next time I sell one of these, next time I make a sale, I'm going to buy the bigger one. So if you want to buy one of my kitties, go over to Etsy and check them out. And yes, I have a bunch of different colors, and I might accommodate to make a smaller one in some yarns that I have. Not a lot of it left. Sorry, I'm having bubbles in my stomach. But yeah, let me just show you which color I was thinking of making a small kitty in. Like, just show you that. It's pretty. This is the Hirschner's Halloween sparkle. Yeah, Halloween sparkle. But this yarn has a lot of ooh, colors in it. Well, different shades rather. It has a bunch of grays and it has one orange through it. So, and it has some black too. So it has black, orange, gray, and a whitish kind of gray. So I would want to make a small cat out of this. I think I have enough. I think it's like 40 grams, or probably even less than 40 grams that I need for a small cat. I'll count again and see, but I'm gonna make that happen soon. Not now because I have a bunch of orders to finish, but by the way, I had some decent sales during Ribbler's spring cleaning sale. I made like $14, and it's not a lot. 'Cause a lot of my patterns were discounted, but I sold like 5 patterns, something like that. It's an okay sale. It's not the biggest ever, but I'm okay with it because I have very specialized. I have a very like niche thing. By the way, little French course, we say niche like niche, not niche. There's no T. And the CH pronounces like CH. So the correct anglicization would be niche. The E is silent. So we would say niche. That's just a little French course for you all. Oh yeah, you have to remember at the end of this row, I have a pattern in my emails that I emailed myself to remember I had it from the crochet crowd. It's just a big hexagon blanket. It's called the Study of Planet Earth, and I'm considering it as an option of what I want to make for my friend because it has a graph on it. Because Michael, I think his name is Michael. Well, the guy from the crochet crowd, anyway. I'm stupid with names. I'm sorry if that was not your name. But he does graphs a lot, and I appreciate that because it's easier for me to read them than to look at the pattern. So I'm just gonna be able to follow that super easily. And I hope the whole thing is graphed. If it's not, well, I'll manage. But I saw that a part of it was so the study of planet Earth, and I can make so many fun colors with this because I have tons of DK yarn. I'm starting to think about not making DK yarn plushies anymore. Well, not as much, not as many. Maybe in funky colors, but all the solid Ubby Mega Ball colors that I have in DK, I'm going to use for blankets instead, I think. What was I looking for? Oh, yeah, the email. But I like the crochet crowd. I follow him on Facebook much more than I do on YouTube because he posts a lot of very small videos and that like ends up crowding my feed, so I unsubscribed and I go to see if I need like when I need to. Okay, there we go. The study of planet Earth. Study of planet Earth. And it's a hexagon and it has a solid center. It's very pretty. Yeah, okay, it has a graph for everything. It has chart 1, chart 2, chart 3, which is like it's like split into things and you just repeat the middle, I assume. Sorry, I just burped. And he made that one in blue, white, and pink. But I think I would want to make mine with just more colors in general. To be honest with you, I want to make it really crazy. And I'm considering this being the one I make for a special person, which we all know. It's someone from YouTube. I'm not gonna name names, but I bet they'll recognize themselves if they hear it. It's just as a thank you because that person is the most awesome person ever. I'm just thinking what kind of colors I would do. And I'm thinking either very, very colorful or more like toned downs. toned down purples, maybe some pinks with that. I'll find something that looks good. I just have to think. I also have a few other blanket patterns. I have the Viola blanket, but that one's a little bit intensive. It has a lot of squares. What else? I have a yarn inspiration stain. I don't really like this one. It has too many holes. Puff mandala. No, that has puff stitches. Puff stitches are pretty, but they're annoying. I have the Grace blanket. Says for personal use only, but that's a gift for a friend. I don't think that's what I want to make. I also have Afghans. I have one Afghan, I think. And I have the Magnificent Marge. Yeah, it's pretty. Oh, the Phoenix Compendium. I have the Phoenix Compendium. That would be a very pretty one. But again, it doesn't have graphs. It has a tutorial. Which is okay. I'm kind of okay with tutorials, I think. I think I'm just gonna have to take a gamble with the colors though. And just like add them as I go. Yeah, I think the Phoenix Compendium might be good. And it gets big too. It would be like 59 by 59 inches. And that's with DK, I'm pretty sure. I read it before. Yeah, it's DK yarn. Okay. And since it kind of changes color every time, I would just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 colors. Yeah, I'll manage that another time. I have enough colors to do it, just I have to think how. I'm a little bit, ugh. Oof. Okay, but yeah, that would be a very beautiful one for this project. Or another idea I had was and like how can I um yeah. Okay, my other idea, sorry, I just got sidetracked there, but was to make a hexa blanket, but with joining the hexagon as I go instead of doing what I did with the other one and just joining them after with another color and the zigzag slip stitch. So I would just make hexagons, join them, and make more like one at a time. That would be cool. That would be pretty cool. I could make it with Zombie Planet. I was thinking, but I think I want more colors, and I want to use the Ubby Mega Ball because I have a lot of it, and I kind of want to don't have. I kind of want to not have it anymore and go towards more a thicker yarn. Yeah, I think I want thicker yarns because I like having the DK and everything, but eh, it's not my favorite thing to use. Like I'm okay if it has nice colors. Like I was saying, I like the ice cream yarns, the lion brand ice cream. That's DK. That's what I was doing my trans-colored shawl with my virus shawl. You can see it in the thumbnail of some of my other lives, by the way, if you're curious. But I think I want to make it very pretty, so. Mm. And in any case, it's gonna have to wait. 'Cause I have so many whips. Yeah, I think I'm going to be able to finish this one. Hmm. I think I just have like too many projects in my head all at once right now. I need to finish whips, I need to do this, but I just keep like it keeps floating in my head. I'm sorry. By the way, I was thinking last night, I was looking at all kinds of projects through Ravelry. Like sometimes I just go into a yarn. And last night I was looking at all the projects with this yarn, the uh, Red Heart Super Saver Stripes. And I found so many fun ones. Like if you look at the owl obsession blanket, it's so cool. It has like silly little owl faces, and they're all neon. And it's done in a bunch of colorways too. Someone made one with the retro stripes and with the favorite stripes and a bunch of others. It's really cool. It's very trippy, and it's like if you're on a drug trip, like you would look at that and it'd be crazy. Someone I talked to suggested maybe a certain specific drugs that I will not talk about on YouTube, but personally I don't use. By the way, it's just a personal choice. I'm 100% sober. Just want to put that out there. but I'm not judgmental about it. I know that some people need that actually because they have anxiety, other conditions that it helps them. But personally, I can't handle that, so I don't do it. Yeah. So let me sit down. So yeah, I was looking at all those projects, and I want to make a snake with that yarn. I think it'd be pretty cool for my shop. Maybe kind of a sandworm thing, make it really huge, but with those neon colors, it's gonna be super intense. Yeah. Okay, two more rounds before I stop increasing. Eesh. Okay, finger break. And when we're at the pink now, hey, stop. Just look at this gorgeous pink. It's a very, very bright one. And some purple. I'm getting tons of followers because of that comment about autism I made on Threads. Awesome. I'm so distracted by notifications. But at the same time, with all the projects I've mentioned that I want to do, I feel the call of Beetlejuice. I want to make Beetlejuice stuff. I want to make like a whole series of Beetlejuice themed things, but I don't know. It's significantly hotter today than it was yesterday. We're getting rid of the snow. It's melting quite a lot right now. Let me let me show you. Oh, I have to go. I have to go. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to dry this. If I'm not on camera, I apologize, but I had to turn my computer upside down, and I'm gonna have to leave it like that because there's water in the keyboard, and I don't have money to replace this. So I'm sorry, you guys. I'm still live. I'm still live. I just won't be able to be on the camera anymore for the rest of the day. Let me just like grab my YouTube to get the comments, but I dropped like three things of water. Three drops of water. But now I can't be there anymore. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm panicking right now. This is worth a few $1,000. Well, 1,000 and some. See now it's not working anymore. Oh well, I messed up my computer. Okay, that's great. Okay, I'm just gonna like try to minimize the damage of this, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to go live until I can buy a new computer because right now like the screen isn't working, the screen is broken, and the keyboard's not gonna work anymore, so I'm not gonna be able to come live. That's I'm gonna hope that this works again someday, but I'm not gonna be able to touch it until it's completely dry, until the circuits are dry. And now I don't even want to turn it off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I'm sorry. I think I have to close everything. Anyway, I'm sorry.